with mass automation, everybody's worried about what does that mean, especially for labor-based, labor-based jobs. And we're really more worried about the short term than the long term over the next 10 years. How do we enable people to bridge the gap? There's a lot of different framings, right? I don't know if you guys talk a lot about UBI, Universal Basic Income. Yes. How do we use that to bridge the gap between where we are and where we want to be? There's a little bit, I didn't share it so much, but we do talk about an abundance mindset. And an abundance mindset is critical to Singularity's way of thinking. How many people own a television? I don't, okay? I haven't had a television I've had it for 3 out of the last 21 years. And every time I go into a hotel, I switch the TV on, and I get depressed in about maybe a minute, right? Because everything on the television is about how we're going to lose our jobs. All the entertainment is about how humans kill each other or how we exploit women. And that completely changes your framing of mind. I live in the United States right now, and our television is very special, in terms of the messages that are coming. But if you adopt an abundance mindset, we can see what's happened over the last 100 years. We've seen, the GDP per capita of all countries triple. We've seen the cost of energy come down, the cost of telecommunications, which you can't tax, right, come down. So as these technologies start to come down, there's a few different things that you could start to look at them. First of all, the cost of a basic living has gone down. I mean, how many people had coffee this morning? How many people went to the river to fetch the water? Nobody, right? We just accept these things. So on the other side of the change, there is the possibility of an abundance. And it's interesting, on the education side, do you mind if I expand a little bit? On the education side, I think we are... STEM education is critically important. Another vision beyond the people doing the technology is how they use the technology to create new services themselves. I mean, how many people use Microsoft Office or have a laptop? And I can tell you how a laptop works. I have no idea how a laptop works. I don't really know. But the idea that we're using those technologies and those technologies have become democratized so that we can build on top of them. And I think if you can build out not only the STEM education to put that base thing on there, but an entrepreneurial mindset, people will start to say, it's so easy to use AI. I mean, because, as we get this modulated AI, it's so easy to actually be able to use it or to access somebody who can, that if I have an idea, I can make that idea come to fruition. So part of the job creation is the ability to see what is possible stacked on top of these technologies. The technologies are just technologies, right? They're so accessible today. At Singularity University, we have this ventures fund where we get a group of people together. And if it was the three of us together, one of us may have a technology expert, somebody has a great idea, somebody knows how to put it into business, and the three of us together move it forward, and all three of us are necessary to do that forward. In terms of taxing, we're seeing taxing and regulation becoming a constant problem, because you run into this problem of, what is this? Right? Is Bitcoin a this? Is it a this? We have all these boxes and it doesn't fit into any of these boxes. What is this? We've had the FDA on our stage, and the FDA has said it was with a pharma company, and the pharma company was drilling the FDA. You don't go fast enough, you don't go fast enough, you don't go fast enough. And this poor guy turned to the room and said, I don't know how to. Please bring me in as your partner of change. And I think that's part of it too. So back to your original question, the gap in between is important, right? Building very importantly on what you were saying, the ability for people to be adaptable is critically important. We talk a lot today about people being resilient in change. If I asked all of you to assume a physical position of resilience, we're all, yeah, okay, I can withstand it, right? That's not really where success lies, right? It's an equanimity with change, so the ability to roll and adapt through that change. But in terms of jobs, the short term is going to be a challenge. The short term change is going to be a challenge. It really is. And UBI may be a solution to that. it might. And an ongoing, perpetual reskilling. I mean, one of the studies that you probably saw this study where 52% of our current skills are going to be no longer needed by 2022. That number's inflated, right? Not intentionally inflated, it's just because of the nature of the survey. But what we get stuck in our head is that, okay, so if I change 52% of my skills by 2022, I'm good. And the answer is no, because the next year it's going to change and the next year is going to change. So it's a cycle of perpetual education. I mean, imagine that your jobs are 80% are doing and 20% is learning what you need next year. And you're in that constant cycle.